Running toilets are a pain in the rear end, right? Hey DIY Nation, it's Jeff with Home Repair Tutor, and today I'm going to share with you how to stop your toilet from running. And no, I'm not talking about running on the track. I'm talking about water being wasted inside the toilet tank. You're going to need a limited number of tools. It's not going to take you forever, maybe 15 to 30 minutes max, and you're going to save yourself a considerable amount of money doing it yourself. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. All right, here are the three tools that you need. You need a pair of wire cutters or snips, something that can cut wire, a flathead screwdriver, and a Phillips head screwdriver. So that's it. Those are the three tools that you need. All right, let's go into the magical land that is the toilet tank. The first culprit you should look at is the flapper. Oftentimes the flapper becomes worn out because of mineral deposits, just regular use and being submerged in water. And you'll see a little bit of an indentation in it right here. Just switch it out with a universal flapper or a flapper that is compatible with the brand of toilet that you're using. This costs probably about $5 and is totally worth switching out. The second reason that your toilet could be running is because when you flush it, when you pull up on it, and you let the handle go in the toilet, the chain drops and gets stuck in between the flush valve, which is this black body here, and the flapper. And if that's the case, water is leaking in between the flapper and the flush valve. So the fix is to trim your chain that connects your flapper to the toilet handle. And you only want a little bit of slack in it. You don't want a ton like this. So just trim it with the wire cutters or your tin snips, whatever you have on you. Third reason that water could be running is because the water's going into the overflow tube right here. And that means that the water level in the tank is too high. So in order to make this fix, what you need to do is adjust the float. And this is the float, and there are several different kinds of floats in the toilet tank, but this is one, and I'll show you a second one here in a moment. But you need to adjust the height of this. Essentially, the problem is this float is too high. So in order to lower it, there's a little adjustment screw right here. To lower the float, what you need to do is turn this screw with your screwdriver to the left. And that will lower the float and, in essence, also lower the water in the toilet tank. A general rule of thumb is to make sure that the water level in the tank is anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch below this overflow pipe. So you can make a mark on the overflow pipe with a Sharpie marker and make sure that the water level rises to that point. Alright, if you have an old school float ball like this one here, you'll need to adjust it instead of the float cup to adjust the water level in your toilet tank. So again, if your water level is too high, you need to make sure that this float ball goes down, because when the water rises, the lower the float ball is, the more sensitive it will be to triggering the stoppage of the water. So you can adjust the height of this float ball in two different ways. You can bend the float arm, like right here, or like in this case, there is a screw right here that you can tighten or loosen. And when you do that, it's very subtle, but it will raise or lower the float ball. So that's how you adjust the water level with a setup like this one. If you have a diaphragm fill valve, you need to adjust the float arm right here to adjust the water level in the tank. Again, if the water level in the tank is too high, your toilet will run because all the water is going to go down into the overflow pipe. So if you can see in this tank, the water is so high that it's just overflowing into that pipe. So I'll recreate that for you right now. So if I turn this counterclockwise, this screw counterclockwise, the float arm rises and the water goes down into the overflow pipe. So what we need to do, or what you need to do to stop this from happening, is lower this float arm by turning the screw on top of the diaphragm fill valve clockwise. So turn it clockwise you'll lower this ball here, and you'll lower the water in your toilet tank and stop the toilet from running. If you've done all of these repairs and your toilet is still running, it could be because you have a bad fill valve. And the way to spot that is if this float cup doesn't rise whenever the water in the toilet tank is rising. And if that is the case, just go ahead and replace this whole unit. A universal fill valve costs maybe 10 bucks, and this is a super simple, easy repair that you can definitely do yourself and save a ton of money in the process. Well, I hope this video helps you with your own running toilet. If you have a particular question, always know that you can send me an email and I'd be happy to assist you with your own project. Remember, if you haven't already done so, you can sign up for my email newsletter over at homerepairtutor.com. A new one comes out every single Friday, and it's really meant to help stop you from wasting time or feeling overwhelmed with your own DIY projects. Plus, as a bonus, you'll save a ton of money in the process by reading a lot of the tips and tricks that I have. So, until the next video, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Whew. Good thing I cleaned this toilet before I did the tutorial, because we've been a little too up close and personal this whole time, if you know what I mean.